Hello everyone, my name is Nyx and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We got some more Monster Hunter Wilds news recently, and this time real juicy ones, mainly through two events, the New York Comic Con and the Paris Games Week. In this video, I will try to condense everything for you. As usual, to jump straight to your favorite topic, you can select chapters by clicking on the timestamps I have listed in the video description below. And now, without further ado, let's start with today's main point in our agenda, the open beta test. Yes guys, the open beta test has been announced by none other than Ryozo himself during the Paris Games Week 2024. The test period for PS5, Xbox and PC will be between October 31st at 8 p.m. and Sunday, November the 3rd at 6:59 p.m. PlayStation Plus subscribers will get an exclusive early access play starting October 28th and ending on October the 13th. Japanese players got an exclusive Monster Hunter Wilds PS5 casing and a controller that I'd personally love to buy. This open beta announcement was a crucial requirement for all of us to find out if our PCs could handle Monster Hunter Wilds or not, and to ensure that we had as much time as possible to upgrade our machines prior to the game's release. Capcom listed us the participation conditions on the Monster Hunter Wilds website. The open beta test will be cross-platforms and is for online use only. An internet connection is obviously needed, plus a minimum of 29 GB of free space for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. For both minimum and recommended specs, you will need the storage of 140 GB. Yes, it's a big baby. They have also tried to be as informative as possible to help players work out whether or not they need to upgrade their PC. The game is expected to run at 180p and 30 FPS under the lowest graphic settings. With the recommended specs, the game is expected to run at 180p, 60 FPS with frame generation enabled, under the medium graphic settings. You will need either an Intel Core i5 or an AMD Ryzen 5, 16 GB of memory and 8 GB of VRAM. These requirements will make it difficult for anyone to record or stream in 4K, but that's not such a big deal technically, as most people don't have monitors capable of handling 4K anyways. If you play the open beta test, you will be able to transfer the character creation data for your Hunter and Palico to the real game. Lastly, if you take part in the survey and give Capcom your feedback, you'll receive exclusive icons for your socials featuring Doshaguma and Chatacabra. You'll have until Friday, November the 8th, 2024, 1 p.m. JST to send it. I strongly encourage you to visit the Monster Hunter Wilds website for all the information you need. I cannot wait to play the game again with my friends and my community. If you'd like to join us for some casual hunting or are looking for some people to speedrun with, feel free to join my Discord via the invite link in the video description below. Let me know what are your expectations for the open beta test in the comments. I'd be happy to read them. If you want to know mine, I let you watch this cute meme that my friend Shinkai cooked right after the announcement, forecasting what my next encounter with Radha will look like. Before moving forward to the fifth trailer analysis, I'd like to mention some of the new info I caught on X or via YouTube. Firstly, what has been communicated during the Monster Hunter Wilds panel hosted by director Kaname Fujioka, held during the latest NYCC. It got confirmed that my first assumptions were correct about the Uth Duna. It will be indeed in our interest to fight it on the shore in order to avoid its waves attack. Fujioka-san also stated that if lured out of the water, Uth Duna will also have slower movements whilst will gain extra mobility. This illustrates once more the director's intentions to make the environment dynamic during all our hunts. The Uth Duna armor set, inspired by Polynesian culture, got also revealed, on top of weapon designs including jewel blades, charge blade, bow, and longsword. Shown off during the panel was the pop-up camp's customization. You'll be able to pick up accessories such as outside chairs, grill to farm steaks, or even customize their appearance. It's also possible to set them up from the village. Wud Wuds will help you in your adventure in many different ways. You'll be able to trade items, hang out with them. One of the examples shown was that you can give them ingredients you found and they'll cook for you. They also have some cute animations or tasks depending on the weather or time of the day, like this one falling over after eating probably too much honey. Remember the Yian Kut-Ku announcement and the Monster Hunter 4U footage I showed you in my last video? Well, here is the classic fireball charge in soon-to-be high resolution. Please note that Yian Kut-Ku will be fought in pack, just like the Doshaguma. Congalala will also be fought with congas around him and has a blast breath. And finally, Rathian was shown during what seems to be an egg quest. I regret that we do not have any official material to illustrate all of this, but many thanks to the Nibblesnarf who was kind enough to share their video on X, which you saw here. On YouTube, more footage has been revealed over the past weeks showing that focus mode will 200% become a core mechanic to at least greatsword and longsword due to its clear advantage. Just look how much more movement control you have while using it. To me, it looks like, yes, it will help new players to position themselves better and to land damage, but in the hands of experienced players, it will just become mandatory if you want to optimize your damage. More specifically about Longsword, Longsword's Yai Spirit attack can bounce off monsters' parts. Furthermore, its gameplay will most probably involve Crimson Slash to aim for your Spirit Thrust. Everything else with angle limitation would need help from focus mode. For a light bowgun, the only thing that I was able to test myself was the damage of the focus strike, which was huge. I will wait for the open beta test to develop more on focus mode's impact for ranged weapons gameplay. Thank you for your patience until then. And now moving on to the last segment of this video, the 5th trailer reveal. The new trailer starts with a new village called Azuz the Everforge. My first immediate thought was that it was a Harth 2.0 from Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. The village is full of accomplished and soon-to-be smithies and looks very muddy and the average temperature very warm. New little monsters have been revealed fighting around an oil pond, bats can be seen flying and, oh surprise, the hunter can be seen grabbing a mysterious blue drink on the map that seems to be a cool drink. I personally think it does make sense to put back the cool/warm drinks in Monster Hunter Wilds, as it does help players to feel more immersed in the game's universe. Welcome to the Oilwell Basin. Following on from Azuz's resemblance to Harth, this new location is reminiscent of the sunken and volcanic hollow. For me, this map is yet another example of 4U's influence on Wilds, and how the concept of changing environments isn't new to the series. In fact, this map had two states: the sunken hollow when the volcano was dormant, and the volcanic hollow when it was glowing with its fire and lava lakes. The Oilwell Basin is, however, modern in a sense that its endemic monsters will interact with it depending on its state, just like the previous maps, but more importantly, it is the first map where mankind's influence will become part of the decor and even the gameplay. During his interview at Paris Games Week, the French CM Amaury asked Ryozo-san, "We saw something very interesting in the new zone that was unveiled, the Oilwell Basin, which has a much more artificial appearance than what we're used to see in Monster Hunter. and than what we saw in the Windward Plains and the Scarlet Forest. What do you think makes this map unique? His answer was, this is an oil zone. The presence of oil implicitly indicates the presence of fire, and the abnormal weather conditions that regularly affect the zone will trigger a number of events, particularly fire flows. It's an area that is undergoing a great deal of change. These changes include obviously monsters having an unique behavior in unique ways, but what made me actually curious was Amaury's question, and the terms has much more artificial appearance than what we're used to see in Monster Hunter games. Indeed, in this trailer, it is clear that we will hunt in the middle of a gigantic forge, so technically built by humans. Not only that, but we will also be able to interact with the said constructions, and so will monsters. This is extremely exciting, and I find it absolutely wonderful to see how not so recent ideas take shape and are being developed with modern technology. But what would be a map without some new monsters revealed? The Oilwell Basin is introduced with a new brute wyvern, the Rompopolo. Lurking in a hot oil pound, the monster seems to be a mix between a frog, a mosquito, a plague doctor, and a termite queen with a massive dart at the end of its inflatable abdomen. We now know from which monster you'll be able to craft the set used to showcase the hammer. Rompopolo personally gives me the ick. It seems to attack with what looks like a strange gas, at least too blue for me to associate it with poison, and emitted by the area's oily ground geysers. I assume it will be possible for us to deflate the Rompopolo after landing enough hits, probably limiting his movesets afterwards. The second new monster is called Ajarakan, a fanged beast characterized by the flame-like protrusion that covers its back. Its design is very satisfying in my opinion and seems to take inspiration from Hindu culture, similarly to Shara-Ishvalda in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. People have been comparing him to Foljong, a frontier monster. The Ajarakan will be using the pipes of the map to move, in the fashion of a Kechawacha, and will get buffed when the Oilwell Basin turns to flame. Later in the trailer, the Azuz villagers are seen lighting up the forge with fire, mentioning a fire spring, showing a brief state of plenty, but soon the forge seems to be a victim of an outage, probably because it has been used too much. And nature seems to take its rights back with the last and most exciting new monster, called the Black Flame, holding two Ajarakans in its tentacles. This monster is covered in oil and looks absolutely badass. Most people will see some similarities with GU's Nakarkos. I see the influence on 4U's Gogmazios due to its flaming oil attacks. In my opinion, it's an octopus-like Godzilla monster. Humans overdo it with their technologies, nature sends something destructive to restore balance back. The most notable feature of Gogmazios' body is the ever-present covering of a sticky tar-like substance which it uses to incapacitate its prey, and the presence of an ancient Dragonator, supposedly the first one ever made and reported lost by the guild, lodged in its back. Once again, human influence is present in nature, fitting Wild's main themes. Would this indicate a future return of Gogma? Who knows? I think it's too early to speculate, but one can dream. Concerning the Black Flame, we can't deny the resemblance of its title with the Right Wraith, aka Arkveld. I'm not sure if it's an apex or maybe some sort of quote-unquote monster regulator, since it's seen attacking other monsters just like the Arkveld was attacking Raydao and Uth Duna in the 4th trailer. And it's on these speculations that this video comes to an end. I would like to thank you all for your amazing support over the past months. Seeing all of your comments inspires me constantly and gives me strength to continue creating content. I know you guys have been asking for Bowguns tutorials. I'll start making them once the game gets released. In the meantime, I'll be busy with speedruns. If you wish to study the Monster Hunter Wilds Light Bowgun moveset before the open beta test is released, feel free to watch my Gamescom First Impressions video where I dissect every move. If you enjoyed watching this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. It's free, it helps me more than you think, and you won't miss any of my upcoming videos covering Monster Hunter Wilds. You can also join my Discord in order to become part of my amazing community and stay in contact in between my videos. This was Nyx. See you in the open beta. Don't forget to shower and take care.